Okay, welcome to the live January 5th. Let me see if let's see if this makes a difference. If you're able to hear this. Boy, this one's running through my head right now. Okay, I don't know how much I can do. I don't want to get a strike. I don't want to get taken down. Okay, so Course in Miracles. Welcome to the Course in Miracles, day 5, January 5th, 2025. We're going through the Course in Miracles, the workbook, and reading the workbook lesson of the day, and then also reading a corresponding section from the text, okay? So one section per day, one workbook lesson per day. And so chapter 1, section 5, we'll be getting into that later, called Wholeness and the Spirit. So, one of your friends is live. Invite them to go live together. Okay, don't think I'm going to do that just yet. But let's talk about lesson 5 from A Course in Miracles from the workbook. I am never upset for the reason that I think. Okay. Now, if you don't have a Course in Miracles book, you can go online to acim.org and follow along if you like, or you can go and check it out later. What's up, Torrance Thomas? It's your boy. It's your boy. I missed it. It's gone. Lori, Raymond, and user 4010. Hi, welcome. And I am never upset for the reason that I think. Imagine that. The Course in Miracles, remember these first few lessons, the first 50 lessons to A Course in Miracles, we're working on undoing the thought system we currently have. So, like the U.S. military, if you will, A Course in Miracles is going to break us down and then rebuild us. Oh, that's an interesting metaphor. I just came up with that one. That's awesome. You saw it live. Way to go. So let's just take a look at this workbook lesson. I'm never upset for the reason that I think. And it says this idea, like the preceding one, can be used with any person, situation, or event you think is causing you pain. Apply it specifically to whatever you believe is the cause of your upset, using the description of the feeling in whatever terms seem accurate to you. So in yesterday's lesson, workbook lesson, and in today's workbook lesson, we're being asked to stop for a minute and meditate, to stop, maybe close your eyes. If you hit that like button, by the way, hit the screen, give me some likes. Let's get those likes. Let me see if I can get 500 likes. You can hit the screen for me, and those likes will go right up, and that will help me with the algorithm, of course. Not that I worship the algorithm, but it's just nice to play along. So the idea is to stop, take some time, and watch the thoughts that we are thinking. What thoughts am I thinking? And just watch them as they go past. As it's said, as many people said, just watch the thoughts go by like clouds passing through the sky. The thoughts are like the clouds. The sky is like the consciousness. The consciousness, thank you for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. We're up to 41. Let's see if we can get to 500 before this thing ends about 11:20 or so. But thanks for joining, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Jasbir left Christian it, and left Populous 5. Wow, left Populous 5. A political man is on the broadcast, or woman. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm never upset for the reason that I think. First, I'm just going to stop Let's see what thoughts are going through my head. Oh, I don't like the way my hair looks today. I wonder how this shirt looks. I wonder if this live is interesting to people. So the thoughts just go through my head. I'm just going to watch those thoughts, and then I'm going to apply the lesson to those thoughts. And remember, the ultimate goal here is to start to gain some awareness. You've heard it said, you are not your thoughts. I am not my thoughts. Those thoughts seem to be spontaneously generated, and they just seem to pass through the consciousness. And part of the practice, part of every practice of a spiritual program, spiritual meditation, awareness training, meditation training, the idea is to watch those thoughts. If I'm watching the thoughts, I am not the thoughts. There is something within me that watches the thoughts. Melanie, hi. Kim, Childress, what's up? Karen joined. So looks like some people are lurking. You can come into the room, hit the like button a few times. Don't worry, I'm not going to grab you and talk to you. Stop. We're not at that point yet with this live. Soon in the future, we will be. If you are familiar with A Course in Miracles, you know what you should do. You know what my advice is? Like and follow me, and hit me up in the DMs and tell me you're a student of the Course in Miracles. And if you're willing, someday at 11 a.m. Central Time, you can come on this live and we can talk about your experience with A Course in Miracles, what you've learned, how your consciousness has changed. And, you know, we can expand what happens on this little podcast, on this little live. So, continuing with lesson 5. Okay, we're focusing on the reason for my upset. Why am I upset? Why do things upset me? Why am I getting triggered? Well, it's not for the reason that I think. That's what the Course in Miracles is telling me. The reason I'm getting triggered is not the reason that I think. And what it turns out, what we'll find out later, is it's not the specific reason that I think, but ironically, in this lesson, we are asked to think about the reason specifically. What is the specific thing that is triggering me? What is the specific thing that is upsetting me? The upset may seem to be fear, worry, depression, anxiety, anger, hatred, jealousy, or any number of forms, all of it which will be perceived as different. This is not true. However, until you learn that form does not matter, each form becomes proper subject for the exercises for the day. Applying the idea, I'm not upset for the reason that I think, to each of them separately is the first step in ultimately recognizing they are all the same. This is an interesting idea. The Course wants us to generalize the things we learn. Okay, so make it abstract. What we'll find out, what it's alluding to here in this lesson, is that is that Beth? Did you just join? There's your icon. I don't see the name, but maybe Beth the Sybil is here. And if that is Beth the Sybil, hi. Okay. Back to the lesson. So, when using the idea today for a specific perceived cause of an upset in any form, use both the name of the form in which you see the upset and the cause which you ascribe to it. I am not angry at blank for the reason that I think. I am not afraid of blank for the reason that I think. Then it gives a couple other instructions, the idea is not to distinguish between the thoughts. Whatever thought comes through my consciousness, I'm going to use it and I'm going to apply the workbook lesson to it. There is no need to discriminate between thoughts. As it just says, every thought is the same as far as this exercise is concerned. It says, do the exercises 3 or 4 times during the day. Okay, so as I said, either you've got a book, you've got the workbook itself, or you can go to acim.org, courseandmiracles.org. That is the official website of the Foundation for Inner Peace. The Foundation for Inner Peace publishes A Course in Miracles. And now quickly, maybe for the next 10 minutes or so, let's just look at the text for the day. The text, as it says in the preface to the entire book, is a theoretical foundation for the ideas that are being worked on in the workbook. And it says you're going to need both parts of that. You're going to need the workbook to work on my own consciousness. I'm going to need the workbook, and I'm also going to need the text. I'm going to need to read the text in order to understand the framework, the definitions, the terms, the relationships between the ideas that Course in Miracles is explaining. So we go to chapter 1, section 5, called Wholeness and the Spirit. Okay, so chapter 1 is called The Meaning of Miracles, and section 5, Wholeness and the Spirit. It says the miracle is much like the body in that both are learning aids for facilitating a state in which they become unnecessary. So we're working on A Course in Miracles. We're working in A Course in Miracles, and we're working toward a state of mind where miracles are no longer necessary. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate it, you guys. Let's get up to 100 likes. Who can help me out with that? If you're sitting in the room here on the live, hit the screen. Let's get those likes up to 100. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So the miracle is like the body. There it goes. We're getting close to 100. Thanks, guys. The spirit's original state of direct, when the spirit's original state of direct communication is reached, neither the body nor the miracle serves any purpose. So it's starting to introduce some very interesting ideas here, very early in the first chapter. And it also tells us in the course, pay attention to these first few chapters and the first ideas that are being presented, because a foundation is being laid for the thoughts and the ideas and the system that's going to be explained more in depth later on in the text. And I must tell you, if you've been through A Course in Miracles, of course, you already understand that it's a complete mind blower. Or if you have not, then get ready. If you go through A Course in Miracles, you may find, like me, that that book will sit on the shelf for many years, maybe, before you even pick it up and start to look at it. I think I like to tell the story when I found the Course in Miracles originally. I think I read the sentence of the text, which is, there is no order of difficulty in miracles. And I put it back up on the shelf. Figuratively, I may have read a few other things, but I was asked once by a friend of mine, have you ever read the Course in Miracles? I said, yes. He said, what do you remember about it? And when I answered him, I said that first sentence from Course in Miracles, there is no order of difficulty in miracles. Now, there's a very specific definition for the term in this textbook. The first section of the first chapter lists 50 principles of miracles. It's important to go over those and realize what is being said, because each of the terms in this book has a specific definition, and you can find those definitions at the back of the book. So let's just finish this first paragraph, Wholeness in the Spirit, from section 5, chapter 1 of A Course in Miracles. It says, while you believe you are in a body, you can choose between loveless and miraculous channels of expression. You can make an empty shell, but you cannot express nothing at all. You can wait, delay, paralyze yourself, or reduce your creativity to almost nothing. But you cannot abolish it. You can destroy your medium of communication, but not your potential. This is my medium of communication. I am using it right now to communicate with you. And you, perhaps, if you hit that like button, are using your medium of communication to communicate with me. You cannot abolish it. You can destroy your medium of communication, otherwise known as sickness, disease, and death, but not your potential. You did not create yourself. See, that's what's up with the ego. That's what's up with the ego mind. The ego mind believes it created itself. In a certain sense, it did. But really, once I identify with the higher self, once I really come into alignment with my true self, I will begin to agree with the statement, and I will begin to realize that I did not create myself. Now, if I did not create myself, then I am not here for myself. And little foreshadowing, a little, what do they call that? When you give away the plot. I can't think of it. A little foreshadowing. I am not here for myself. I am here for a creator, for the creator. I am here for a greater idea. So it may behoove me to get into alignment with that creator and with the creator's will, so I can begin to execute the creator's will instead of my own will. Okay? Second paragraph, section 5. There are 6 paragraphs to section 5. We won't go through all of them. We're coming up on the end of this live. But the basic decision, you have to make a decision, by the way, to you have to decide for heaven. You have to decide for the higher self. The basic decision of the miracle-minded is not to wait on time any longer than is necessary. Stop wasting time. Stop trying to find satisfaction in the world. Stop trying to find satisfaction with your car, with your truck, with your job, and with your relationship. Sorry to burst your bubble, but you knew that already. Don't waste time. Time can waste as well as be wasted. It says, the miracle worker therefore accepts the time control factor gladly. The miracle worker recognizes that every collapse of time, this is up to the Christ consciousness, this is up to the Holy Spirit, as it is outlined in the text. There is a time collapse variable. So by studying the Course in Miracles, we're told we are, part of the mission is to collapse time. Part of the mission is to bring the end result, salvation, about more quickly. So there is a time collapse factor involved in this study. The miracle worker recognizes that every collapse of time brings everyone closer to the ultimate release from time, in which the Son and the Father are one. Equality does not imply equality now. When everyone recognizes that he or she has everything, individual contributions to the sonship will no longer be necessary. When the atonement has been completed, all talents will be shared by all the sons of God. God is not partial. All his children have his total love, and all his gifts are freely given to everyone alike. So that is an awesome idea to contemplate. That is an awesome idea to think about. It makes me think about, role-playing games. We used to play, when I was coming up, we used to play role-playing games with pieces of paper on a table. We used to roll actual physical dice, and we actually used to talk to each other face to face and whatnot. Now, of course, those role-playing games are part of, a PS3 or those type of devices. So your role-playing game, it's a little bit different, but the idea still holds. You choose your character based on the characteristics that you want to employ in the game. So you can choose from the entire menu, but as you play the game, there's certain specific characteristics, abilities, and those types of things that you have chosen to manifest in this timeline, in this expression. And so it says here, God is not partial. All his children have his total love, and all his gifts are freely given to everyone alike. Why are we moving through time? Because everything is happening all at once, but we can't perceive everything happening all at once. And so we seem to be on a timeline moving forward in time. Makes sense. It's just, it's like you're watching the movie, right? The movie is a series of still photographs passing through the light in 30 frames per second or whatever it is, and the illusion of motion, the illusion of time and space is projected on the screen. So you can take that film metaphor, and you could kind of take that in and make it holographic and insert yourself into the screen, insert yourself into the story, insert yourself into the dream, and suddenly you have a 3D projection, a simulation, a holodeck, etc., etc. But what we were talking about here, and in relation to the text today, all the gifts of God are available to everyone alike. However, when you enter into this particular incarnation, if you want to call it that, or this particular timeline, if you want to call it that, you're given maybe a limited number of choices, okay? Instead of the full array, the infinite array of talents or gifts that you can bring to the situation, you get to choose, let's just say 10, 15, 20, whatever it is. And those are the main themes, those are the main ideas, those are the main talents that will be used to express the whole. So the part expresses the whole, kind of a holographic representation. Okay, so that was the workbook lesson number 5 on January 5th, and also section 5 from chapter 1 on January 5th, every day at 11 a.m. We'll go through this. We're just having a discussion. I don't know anything. I don't know anything more than you. I'm just flapping my lips here, and we're just using the Course in Miracles as a context and a framework for me to flap my lips. hit the like button on the screen, go to my homepage, like and follow me. And if you're interested, you come back at 11 a.m. Central Time every morning, and we'll just see what we talk about next. I also take the download of this live, I put it over on YouTube. So if you miss it at 11 a.m., you can also catch it over on YouTube. That's all for today. Thanks for joining, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace and blessings.